I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, May the 6th races at Hastings. We do have 7 races starting at 1:50. The feature race is the Ross McLeod, named for the former president or CEO of Great Canadian Gaming Corporation. Great contributor to horse racing was Ross McLeod. He has his race named in his honor, and it's got a great filly in it. And here's Anna. She's going to be the heavy favorite, but there'll be some other fillies in there that have a say in the outcome. Absolutely,
and as we mentioned yesterday with Jim Coleman, was our first step towards the BC Derby. This is our first step towards the BC Oaks on Kentucky Oaks and Derby weekend. 7 races, Mike mentioned. Let's hop right into it. First race, a maiden $4,000 claimant event for 3 and up colts and geldings. I went to a first-time starter here. The 2 transplant out of the Glen Todd barn. He's been rolling to start the meet. 23% first start trainer. Aaron Greider rides. He's a Sir Galvic, that Pike Place market. She could run a little bit. Debuts on the Lasix program. Transplant for me on top of the 4 Texas Kid. He was running much higher throughout his 3-year-old year last year, running some tough horses. Now in for 4 to start the year under Enrique Gonzalez. He's got to be a handful in here. Put him in for second, and I threw King Blue out of the Rob Maben barn in for third. He's had the ultimate equipment change since we last saw him. He is a gelding, trying to get his mind on things, and Rob Maben's horses have been running well to start this meet. I went 2, 4, and 1.
I just switched the top 2. I went to the 4, Texas Kid. I don't love either one, but I mean, Texas Kid for me showed good speed in all of his starts. An abbreviated campaign in 2016, an abbreviated campaign in 2017. Hopefully all his little issues are behind him, but he does have some ability. But the work tab's been good, and I'm going to try this one to maybe defeat the first or number 2 transplant. And I put the 1, I agree with the King Blue in for third. I went 4, 2, and 1 to start off the Sunday afternoon program. Back in race number 2 now, $4,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime, going 6 1/2 furlongs. I ended up on the 6th horse, Tornador. I liked him last time. Got an odd trip or wide. I know there's an inquiry. This horse, I wanted him on the lead, and he broke good and was not really aggressively ridden for the lead, obviously under orders to take back and sit off horses. And Act Up got out there and kind of got the jump on him. He was out wide, Act Up, but still, I just thought the horse, being out, it was odd to see him out broke by Humphrey Ladd. This horse is fast, Tornador. His horse has gone 22 and 2. This horse is quick, and I just think maybe they'll use him today and get out there and win the money. Humphrey Ladd ran just ahead of him last time in a photo, but Tornador had a lot of trouble last time. He checked and had to come back around, and I thought he was the better of the 2 horses last time. And I put the 1 horse, Timber King, who closed up nicely. Gets an extra half a furlong to work with. He may have a little C in the end if those 2 go head and head on the front end. What's 6, 7, 1?
I don't know much to add. I got the same top 2, Tornador and Humphrey Ladd. I think those 2 are interchangeable. I agree with you, though. I put Tornador. I liked him last time. I'm going back to him, but Humphrey Ladd ran a big one last time, too, at 10 1. I was trying to think about Timber King. I was up throwing Fear of the Cat in there. Good 47 work coming into this under Jeff Birmingham. So I went 6, 7, and 4 in the second. On to the third, $4,000 claimant event for fillies and mares, going 6 1/2 furlongs. And I went to the 2 Halloween Queen, ran a really good race last time, fought the whole time, just got caught late by a fast closing Zenita Rose. Zenita Rose is much better than these fillies.
Yeah, she's multiple.
Yeah,
she's
so
a nice mare.
I think Halloween Queen can get the job done today. I got her on top, I had a Free and Fast out of for Hall of Fame trainer Harold Barabee, who claimed this horse in her last start. This is a filly that has a fair bit of talent, ran much higher throughout her career, dropped in for 4 non-3 last start and absolutely dusted him. Harold claimed her that day, and she's training forwardly for this. Put her in second, and I threw Lady Cash in for third. She's fired fresh early in the past. Last year only got beat a length behind another Hall of Famer, Uncle Frank. First start last year, she only gets beat a length by Zenita Rose, Moonride. Second start, second by Rachel Run. Those are pretty tough fillies. I think she can fire fresh. Nice work at 1 minute and 3/5. And Mario Sander rides 2, 1, and 6 for me.
I agree with the top 2. I can see Lady Cash getting in there as well, but I agree with Halloween Queen. I thought it was a productive race. Did lose to Zenita Rose, but I still think the horse got a lot out of the race, and the works going into her first race were 104 in the slop, 101 in the slop. They were maybe the screws
really
weren't
tight,
tightened enough. No. Sometimes you just can't work horses quicker and hook them up in sloppy tracks. So I mean, you just kind of guide them around there. And she just got beat, but maybe she got beat by a better horse anyway. But I think she's going to get the lead in here, and she's tough. When she's near the lead, she's very tough to outrun. I agree with you. Number one, Free and Fast. This horse is probably the best horse in the race, but not at her best distance. She's better going along. Her sprint races last year for Maiden 16 were okay, but the work top's been good for Harold and Amadeo Perez rides. And I put the 4-horse Belly Girl. That was my only change. I put that one in. Been working well, and series of good 5/8 for Richard Hamill and Charlene Miller. 2-1-4. In race number 3. On to the 4th race. Kicks off the late pick 4.
Good race here.
16,000 or older horses going 6.5 furlongs. I really like the 4-horse. The odds are good. This horse got, I don't know, he didn't break great and then rushed up and then he got hooked quickly by, I can't remember who he got hooked by, but he didn't get any breaks on the head end. He was pushed throughout. And when you're coming off a layoff, it's tough to be doing all the fighting on the head end. I think he'll be better prepared this time. And Silvino Morales knows the horse very well, and he's back aboard today. So I'm going to take the odds are good to defeat the obvious ones, the 7, Mighty Fraser, and the 1, Burnham. I went 4, 7, and 1. Those 3 look to me on paper to be miles the best in here. Mighty Fraser's a cool horse that just runs good races. Burnham's a cool horse. He seldom misses the board. He ran a big race off the layoff despite being a little wide last time. But I just think the speed of the odds are good. It's going to maybe get him the money. 4, 7, 1.
I went to the 1 Burnham, actually. I thought he needed the race last time. He did get passed just right at the end by a neck by Mighty Fraser. Mighty Fraser's been running. I think Burnham gets a lot out of that. He can turn the tables on these horses today. I got Burnham on top. I put Royal Briar. Cindy's off to a great start. And this guy's been running. He's fit. He's been running productive races down there. Got beat last time in optional 16 by a very tough Prussian Candy, a horse we used to see around these parts.
He's in tomorrow, or he's in Friday.
And he come back, he's won since then. That was back on the 13th of March. Amadeo Perez rides. We saw these guys hook up in the older boys stake before Cindy and Amadeo. Put Royal Briar for second, of course. Mighty Fraser, as you mentioned, just a horse that always shows up. I went 1, 3, and 7 in the 4th. On to the 5th. Optional 35 for older boys. Good race here. 6.5 furlongs. Field of 8. And I went to the 6th, Jaminati. This horse has been running very well for Phil Hall down in Phoenix. That last race out of allowance at optional 20 was a really tough race. He fought with the horse. They were banging the whole way down the lane. Just got beat a nose. I went back and watched that replay. I thought that was a productive race. I know this horse fits in here, that's for sure. Jaminati on top. But Silvertown, he's been training really well. Dino's horse is off to a good start. I know Dino's high on him. He thinks he's got a big shot in here, so I threw him in. Dino and Amadeo Perez have already teamed up very nicely so far this year. Silvertown in second, and Crackdown, he's always tough. He's been working forwardly for Patty Leaney, and he's tough in these sprint races. David Lopez knows him well. 6, 3, and 5 for me.
Boy, you left Mike Anderson out here. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not picking on Mike today. I know.
I want to change my pick. I want to pick Mike Anderson. He's got to win.
I know Venetian Mask and Fire Fresh, but I was trying to stay away from Mike.
I went to the 5-horse Crackdown in here.
I can see that.
Yeah. He looks like the horse to beat. There isn't a pile of speed. I guess Silvertown can go and probably should go. Crackdown doesn't need the lead, but will likely be shipped off near the head end. And it's been working well for Patty Leaney. This horse was running. When he's in these high climbing races, he's
pretty dangerous,
pretty tough to beat. So I went Crackdown over the 8 Venetian Mask, who is always tough. He gets out of stakes company.
Last year's first start, the Switch Inaugural, only got beat a length by Distinctive Passion, so he can fire fresh.
He can sprint too, and he didn't get the greatest of draws, but he'll be out there close. Like Street Remark has some speed too. He's got to get in play early, and I put the 4-horse Never Doubt in for third. He's kind of a cool horse and working well, and he's been a good claim, and he won for 2 bets. He can sprint too, and we'll see how the pace scenario goes. But I just think there's some speed in here with Captain Jones, Silvertown, Crackdown, Venetian Mask, Straight Remark.
Sergeant Rick.
Jaminati, I don't know enough about. He's a turf horse. Maybe he handles the dirt. I don't know. But Sergeant Rick's proven he can handle the dirt, but he's probably a little better going farther, as is Never Doubt.
Yeah.
Crackdown for me was the horse. 5, 8, and 4 in race number 5. On to the 6th race. This is the Ross McLeod.
Three-year-old
fillies going 6.5 furlongs. We've got 8 of them signed on. Well, here's Hannah. You probably don't need to go much farther than that. Absolutely demolished her competition last year. She's been training well for trainer John Morrison, who does a great job with his limited runners he has. He's done a great job.
Yeah.
And Richard Hamill re-rides. This horse probably not going to get the lead, but because Suzette's very fast. Raider's quite quick, but still, here's Hannah can sit the trip just off maybe one horse.
Yeah.
And I think she's quick enough to get into the 2 path, but here's Hannah's the horse to beat. But the 6th horse, a Charmant, my French is
wow.
little.
You speak French?
It's not meant. It's not a charmant. I know that. A Charmant.
A Charmant?
I know it sounds. I don't know what it is, but anyway. I did take French 40 years ago.
Well-bred daughter of Into Mischief.
Yes, and looked good, like breaking her maiden down in Phoenix on the grass, ran 3rd in a stake on the grass, came back on the dirt, ran a good runner-up effort at 4 to 5 odds. And the horse is racing fit, and that's the big edge.
Yeah.
Is a Charmant better than Here's Hannah? No, but if I could see a Charmant maybe winning the race just because on racing fitness.
Yeah.
And but Here's Hannah's miles the best in here, and I put Suzette in for 3rd. What a trooper!
She's tough, isn't
she's
she?
Like as big as this table.
Yeah.
There's nothing to her, but she's an all racehorse.
Yeah, she's cool.
She proved it. She won her first start by 4. She won the Bird of Pay in Edmonton by 14. She wasn't disgraced even here against My Aunt Mo, and of course she won a Century by a mile, going 7 furlongs. She won by 3.5.
She's pretty
under
tough.
wraps.
She's tough, yeah.
Enrico Walcott is in town to ride, so I put her in for 3rd. But there's some nice little fillies in here. I left My Aunt Mo off the ticket. She's got a great resume: 2 wins and a 3rd at Emerald. It's nice when horses can take their show on the road, and not every 2-year-old can do that. But obviously, Glenn Todd thought enough of her and sent her down, and she ran very well. There's some nice fillies.
Yeah, this is an interesting race.
Here's Hannah does look like here, and then the rest are kind of just below. I went 5, 6, and 4.
I agree. I mean, here's Hannah. You went on. I mean, she's
Everyone's gonna agree on
she's
that.
the one you have to pick in here. Moving right along, I put a Charmant. Thank you for the pronunciation. A Charmant. In 2nd place is a horse that's race fit. The reasons you mentioned: well-bred daughter of Into Mischief, top connections.
Yeah.
Her in 2nd. I put My Aunt Mo in 3rd. Never beaten here at Hastings. 2 for 2 here at Hastings last year. Good 3rd
She's
down
another
to
one that's
NGC
small
stakes.
but tough as nails.
Really tough, exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's Here's Hannah, and then you can make a case for everybody else in here. It's going to be an interesting race. 5, 6, and 8 for me. In the 6th, on to the 7th. Fillies and Mares. Maiden $25,000. They call me a homer, but I went to Pop's Horse Crafty Memory. I thought a really good start for maiden 16 in her first start. She was big odds, 13 to 1. Looked like she was going to win it. Got a little tired at the end. Got passed by Convergent. Talked to Pops after the race and said I thought she might be a little short. She was, with a race under her belt. This race didn't come up much tougher than that 16. I think she can, I think she's the horse to beat in here. I put her on top. Bombay, the 4-year-old filly, comes out of that maiden special weight, back in for 25, where she's been dangerous before for Jon Snow, and she's race fit as well. Enrique Gonzalez rides to put her in the 2nd spot. And Mark Cluche, what a year he's off to. 2 for 3 so far. And they're not just getting up and winning, they are running very good.
Colterbury, they won
very impressively. So yes, please. Amadeo Perez, Mark Cluche, always dangerous. Yes, please for me in the 3rd spot. 7, 1, and 6.
Yeah, I went to the 6, yes, please. I thought maybe the first-time starter might be alive in here. It's a daughter of Yes, It's True. It's good pedigree, a good sprint pedigree.
Yep.
Work tab's good, and as you mentioned, the barn's off to a great start. So let's try Yes, please for the hot Mark Cluche and Amadeo Perez. The 7-horse Crafty Memory, your dad's horse. He was a trooper to put the horse in. Like this horse has 1.58 going into that race.
Yeah.
And everyone really, all horsemen kind of had to pitch in to get a
bite the bullet there.
double,
yeah, exactly.
2 cards on opening weekend, and it wasn't easy. And some guys ran some short horses, which is hats off to them for doing it. And as you mentioned, your dad fessed up.
Figured she need one.
And you look at the works.
Yeah.
Probably needed a race. And now she's tight. She'll be tough to beat. And I put the 1-horse Bombay in for 3rd. Wide out last time, better trip maybe from the inside going 6. It is just 6 furlongs, so the inside's definitely an advantageous post. I went 6, 7, and 1 to close out the Sunday.
Same horse is just
program.
different.
Yeah, we just kind of switched them around a little bit. That'll do for our analysis of the Sunday afternoon program. Next up on screen, a quick recap. Here come my picks. There we go. Back in race 1, I went to the 4. Texas Kid, 4-2-1. Race number 2, I went to the 6, Tornador, over the 7-1. Race number 3, I went to the 2, Halloween Queen. We're going to go 2, 1, and 4. Drew and I agree on a lot of them again this weekend. That's okay. Hopefully we do well together. Race number 4, the started late pick 4. I went to the 4. The odds are good. 4, 7, and 1. Race number 5, the 5, Crackdown, over the 8 and 4. Race number 6, the 2-year-old filly champion of last year. Here's Anna looking to get 2018 off on the same foot. I'm going to go 5, 6, and 4. And race number 7, I went to the 6, yes please, over the 7, Crafting Memory. 6, 7, 1 for me.
On to my picks, there we go. Back in the first, I went to first time starter number 2, Transplant, over the 4 and the 1. In the second, number 6, Tornador, over the 7 and the 4. In the third, I went to the 2, Rob Maben's Halloween Queen, over the 1 and the 6. In the fourth, I went back to one of my old horses I like to pick, number 1, Burnham, over the 3 and the 7. In the fifth, I went to the Invader from Turf Paradise, or the Phil Hallbarn, number 6, Jammin' Addy for Praven Sorensen, over the 3 and the 5. In the sixth, no secret here, we agree on number 5. Here's Hannah. Couldn't have been more impressed with the 2-year-old. Good to see her unveiling as a 3-year-old.
She's looked great, too. She's looked
she looks the part.
She's only
yeah.
got 2 5/8s in her, but she looks great.
She looks good. Over the 6, Acharnement, and the 8, My Aunt Mo. And in the nightcap, I went to 7, Crafty Memory, over the 1 and the 6.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. It should be a great weekend. Please do enjoy it. Good luck in all of your wagers. Thanks for tuning in. And our next live cards will be next Saturday, May the 12th, and Sunday, May the 13th. Yep. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do,